Hi everyone, welcome to Rachel Pichler Yoga. If we haven't met before, my name is Rachel and today we're doing a nice full body stretch. So I'm going to use my strap a little bit throughout the class. If you've got something that can make your arms a little bit longer, feel free to grab something. You're going to need just a little bit of space to move, and let's get started. So let's begin today laying down on our backs. And if you've got a strap to use, just have it nice and close by. You can bend your knees and plant your feet. Lay on down and then just start to widen your feet. Letting your knees fall towards one another, you might turn your toes in slightly. You might feel some love, some rotation through your hips. And you can rest your arms wherever's comfy, maybe at your sides, maybe placing your hands on your tummy. But just close your eyes and tuck your tailbone under slightly to connect your low back to your mat. And take a nice deep breath in and out. Do that again, nice deep breath in. And let it go. One more nice deep inhale. Fill your body up with air. And let it go. Nice, you guys, with your knees together. Just give them a little extra squeeze, if you will. And then let them open up nice and wide. You can turn your toes out slightly to help your knees open up. Take a nice rock side to side with your legs. Let your knees tip over to one side, then the other, and just kind of rock them back and forth. Loosen up through the hips. Then you can start to slow down that rock and actually bring your feet back together. You can find your strap as well. We're going to lift our right foot up into the air. If you don't have a strap, just hang onto the back of your leg. But if you do have one, place it on the ball of your foot right under your toes. Send your heel up a little higher. Feel the length through the back of your leg. And then encourage your tailbone, your low back into the mat again. The more you encourage your toes towards your forehead, the more you'll feel that stretch. So find that sweet spot. Find your breath again. Maybe even close your eyes. And if you want to move your right leg a little bit, we're going to let it fall out to the right side. I want you to keep your low back connected to your mat the whole time. Keep encouraging your toes towards the top of your mat. Maybe your foot comes in line with your shoulder. Maybe it comes out a little bit wider than that. But just keep lifting those toes or encouraging them towards the top of your mat instead of the bottom. Your left leg could extend out long, and you might keep going until your foot wants to stop falling out to the side. Feel free to hold onto your strap or your leg with just your right hand. Let your left arm rest wherever's comfy. And you can feel the love through the inner leg here. Or maybe it's still through the hamstring, through the calf. That's great too. Awesome, you guys. Let your foot float back up nice and slow. Back through center, and then option to hang out at center again. Or you can keep letting your foot float over towards the left. But let's keep both of our hips down. Our low back connected. And our toes gently encouraging towards the top of our mat. So your foot might not fall as far to the left as it crosses your body as it did to the right. But it might. Just keeping that right hip connected when it wants to lift. Maybe you can feel this through the outer leg, into the hip. Maybe you're just hanging on with your left hand this time to your strap or your leg, or maybe even your foot. Nice, you guys. Slowly let the foot, the leg float back up through center. Send your heel up a little higher, maybe your toes a little closer towards the forehead. And then relax, bend your knee, take your strap off, plant your feet, bend both of your knees. Maybe take a rock side to side, give your low back a little bit of a massage. We'll switch sides anytime you're ready to do so. Lift your left foot up, add your strap. If you're using a strap today, heel is encouraging. You're sending that heel up a little higher than your toes, maybe flexing your foot. Find that sweet spot. Maybe you've got a bend through your knee. Maybe your leg is fairly straight, but encourage your low back into your mat. And breathe. Feel the sensations running through your leg as you allow yourself to let go of your day. And either staying here or let your leg fall out towards the left side. Maybe extending your right leg out long if you haven't already. And move just nice and slow here. Keep encouraging your toes towards the top of your mat. Keep your leg as straight as it was when you started. Maybe your foot is slowly falling, just ever so slightly more as you relax into it. And when you're ready, that foot can just float back up through center with the option to stay here or let your leg cross over your body. Maybe this side feels different than the other side. Keep that left hip down. Toes, encouraging them towards the top of your mat instead of letting your foot fall towards the bottom. How does that feel on your outer leg? Maybe even place your left hand on your hip. Just help it stay down. Notice if that deepens the sensation that you're feeling through the leg, just that little thought of keeping the hip down. Nicely done, you guys. Slowly let your foot float back up. Send your heel up again. Lengthen that leg. Take one more breath. And then you can relax. Bend your knee, take your strap off. Bend both of your knees, plant your feet. If you'd like to take a couple rocks side to side with your knees, rock it out. We're going to be sliding our left hand underneath our back, so palm facing down. I'm going to tuck your hand underneath where you're not crunching any of your bones, kind of the middle of your back, the side of your back. And then you can stay here, knees pointing up, or you can let them start to tip over towards the left side. And you can rotate your hips this time. Let the right hip lift, stack over top of the left maybe. You can stay here with your right shoulder resting on your mat, or you can keep turning so that you might be laying on your left side. Be nice to your shoulder, that left arm. If you feel good here, you might even cross your top leg over top of your bottom leg. That might make your knees just a little heavier. You might even feel some love through your hips. And then you can kind of decide if you want to keep going for turning over to the left. Or you might bring that right shoulder back down and feel the twist through your back. And before you start to move, let's just stay for a breath. And we're going to come out the way we came in. So if your legs are over to that left side, start there. Move slow here. Bring your knees back so they're pointing up, planting your feet. Maybe even rotating the hips so your low back connects to your mat again. And then slide your left hand out. Maybe placing your hand on your tummy or your arm at your side. Take a second here. Just notice how your body is feeling. That left shoulder and arm. Your spine, your hips. And when you feel ready, we're going to switch sides. So your right hand palm facing down, slide it underneath your back. Maybe you stay here. This is as far as you go because you feel that nice shoulder stretch already. Stay here. Or let your knees tip a little bit over towards the right. Maybe tip a little further, rotating the hips a little bit more. Decide if you want to turn to that right side. Lift your left shoulder. Maybe you're starting to look over to the right. Option to cross the top leg over the bottom leg. Being mindful that one side might feel a whole lot different than the other side. And as your legs get heavier, you might turn to the right even more, or you might come back a little bit. Bring the left shoulder down. Whatever feels good for you today. Awesome, you guys. Slowly coming back the way you came. Knees, legs. Coming back up. Once you're laying on your back, you can slide your hand out from under you. Take a moment. Relax your shoulders. Maybe rock your knees out. And then either rolling over to one side, or you could rock yourself forwards. But we're going to come over into tabletop onto our hands and knees first. Have your strap close by just in case you want to use it in a moment. We'll bring our left foot forwards to start into a lunge. Plant your hands, sink into your hips, and then heel toe your left foot to the edge of your mat, setting up lizard. Let your knee fall out to the side. Let your toes turn out slightly. Sink into your hips. You might even push into the top of your back foot. Lift your knee for a moment and then rest it back down. Let your hips get heavy. So you can stay here in your lizard. You can also add a twist to this. Keep your right hand down. Turn your chest towards the left. Staying here, or you can reach for your back foot, maybe using your strap to make your arm a little bit longer if you can't quite catch your foot with your hands. But as you encourage your heel towards your glute and your hips down towards your mat, you might get an awesome quad stretch in your lizard. Nicely done, you guys. If you have your back leg bent, slowly let it go. And if you're twisting, slowly turn back as well to face the front. You can heel toe your foot to the middle of your mat just so you can plant your hands, bring your knee back into your tabletop. Take a bit of a rock side to side with your hips. Your right foot can start to come forwards when you're ready to switch. Sink into your hips. Heel toe your foot to the right side this time. Turn your foot on an angle. Let your knee fall out to the side. Maybe push into your back foot. Lift your knee for a moment and then relax it down. Soften your hips more. Staying here or adding your twist, turning your chest towards the right. And maybe bending your back leg, add your strap or catch your foot in your hand. And just breathing wherever you are. Starting with that back leg, if it is bent, you can start to let it go. Coming out of your twist as well, and then heel toe your foot to the middle of your mat. Plant your hands and find your tabletop. Rock out the hips a little. Take a bigger breath in and out. We're going to keep our hips stacking above our knees, but reach our arms out in front. For a puppy dog stretch, you can keep your palms down or you can bring them together. Lifting your hands up over your head, melting your heart, melting your chest down towards your mat. Feeling the love through the shoulders, maybe the triceps. You might even scoot your elbows a little further away from your shoulders. You can find that sweet spot. Make any adjustments that you need. So you're getting an awesome stretch. If you're resting your forehead, you might even try to rest your chin. Gazing forward slightly, melting the chest a little closer towards your mat. Taking one more breath here. And using an inhale to lift your chest back up. Let your hands come down. You can climb back up into your tabletop. Maybe take a little bit of a shoulder roll if you'd like. Rock of the hips if you'd like. Before you cross your ankles and you come into a seated position. Any comfy seated position will do. Placing your hands on your knees, close your eyes. Take an inhale, lengthen through your spine, and with the exhale, let your chin fall down towards your collarbone, letting your head be heavy. Feeling the length through the back of your neck. And using an inhale to slowly roll your head over towards your right shoulder. Pausing here. Softening through the jaw. Take just one more inhale and let the exhale bring your chin back down. And inhale as you roll your head to the other side. Feeling the length through the sides of your neck. Just one more inhale, letting the exhale bring your chin back down. And an inhale can lift your head back up, just to a neutral place. Awesome job, you guys. You can bring your hands together in front of your heart. Feel free to spend a few moments in Shavasana or carry on with the rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining me. Until next time, Namaste.